Hi, beauties, and welcome back to Beauty and Me with Tina. Tonight, we will continue our journey of self discovery and empowerment in discovering yourself through positive self talk, continued with the incredible Angel Conway. Last time, we had a heartfelt discussion on self care and the power of positive self talk. And tonight, we're picking up right where we left off. Get ready for more insight, more inspiration, and real strategies to help you shift your mindset and embrace your true beauty from inside out. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Because at the time I was nursing. So I was like, I even it took so much of me be like, to fight that urge of saying no, because I have to feed this baby like every 3 hours. Like
Yeah, don't want to. I gotta put on clothes. I gotta do my hair. Don't want to do
all of that. It's like a whole theme just to get ready to go.
Right.
But and even in that though, there was a lesson for me because I was like, no, your time is your time. Because one of my um friends, she was just like, so I'm having this party. I want you to come through. What's up? And I'm like, but you said ain't no babies though. So and she ended up making an exception.
Oh,
And I had to go back. I know. I had to go back and apologize to her. I sure did. And because now I get it.
right.
I get it. And I was just like, okay, Angel. Because I really only stayed there for about 2 hours anyway. And it was like late, and I'm just not that person to be up, you know, partying to midnight. I'm not, never have, never will be, just not that person. Um, and so I was just like, you could have gave yourself that time and gave your friend that time, right?
Right.
And one, so friend that we're, both friends with, she was in the same boat. And so like I was like, oh, at least I'm not the only
Like I'm not the only one in that position. Okay, so we're good. We're good. We're good.
but I did apologize to her. I was like, I am so sorry. I get it now.
Right.
So, mommy time, girls time,
Mhm.
like you gotta put a clear cut.
Line through it. I think a lot
Yeah.
of us go through because I went through that moment too. Like I went through the moment of I don't want to leave my baby with anybody, even daddy. I didn't want to leave my
Even
baby with daddy. Like I know daddy's part of it, but even with daddy, didn't like
they
baby.
do
I
it like
want yeah. But then you begin to realize like you've done lost yourself in mommy duties, in wife duties, and you're like, wait, why am I walking around here in sweatpants? I don't know what sweatpants are. That's not me. Why am I walking
that's not me.
around?
Yes.
Why am I walking around with my hair looking crazy? No makeup on. Haven't worn heels in like 2, 3 weeks. What in the world is going on here? And then
Yes.
own me. Like I don't own myself.
What up?
Like, wait. And then you feel finally
Yeah.
realize when you start feeling less confident and you start comparing yourself
Mhm.
and you're like, if I'm seeing this, what are my kids seeing? Like, am I scaring them? What's my
Ooh.
husband seeing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that like snap yourself back, like, look, this is not you. Get it together.
Together.
Before you had the husband, before you had the kids. Who were you before then? No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You do grow up and you do mature and
Yeah.
something change. But as far as the self care moment, you know what? Going to have
Yeah.
a moment with the girls, going to go watch a movie by yourself, going to get your
Yeah.
nails done, going to have a woosah, just looking outside is is a must.
Mhm.
So with being a wife and a mom, how do you manage all of that to include your self-care time? Like, do you tell your husband, hey, you got the kids for the next couple hours. Let me go get myself.
Yep, I sure do. I say, so this what I plan to do. This when I plan to be back. Deuces. Like, I'm out of that. Okay.
I'm not the only one. I am not. I am not the only one. I'm
Nope, I am quick. Let me see your back. Right. However, I schedule it. I schedule it in, like, just like I do everything else. Like, I schedule that thing on in there. So now, like, it's blah. I created a whole habit around it. So, like, it's not even a thought. Um, except when it's like off days, like the past 2 weeks, my work schedule has been like all over the place. And so I'm just like, okay, all right. We're gonna work with it.
yeah.
But like, unless something's off of my typical schedule, like, I'm doing things like on rotation.
Right.
So the thing about, creating self-care as a lifestyle, building that habit, the thing is, it is perfectly okay if you have to do something at a different time, or push something back to do, because you have already created that momentum for yourself, right?
Right.
And so I encourage people to, like, go hard with their boundaries and figuring out how you want to show up, when you want to show up, what you need to get it done. Like, go hard, go hard, go hard when you're first really, like, establishing healthy routines for yourself.
Right.
Because again, like, nothing's going to, like, knock you off your game when something do arise, right? Like, I mean, there's moments that I've had to take my in-laws to the hospital, just because, like, something happened, and it's just like, well, yeah, like, I'm not gonna be sitting here like, oh, I didn't get to, like,
Mhm.
I ain't worried about that. Like, and so we we can dissuade ourselves, and we could, you know, um, be our own worst enemy. So, like, my thing is, I went hard in the beginning, like back in 2018, 2019. I went hard. I was like, anywhere that I can go, any person that I could be with, I was down for the cause. Where you going? What time? Bet I'm there. Right. And that, like, momentum that I gave myself just, like, skyrocketed me to point to where it's just like things not even a second thought now. Um and now I'm putting myself in position to level up how I take care of myself. So this year we doing trips this year. Okay.
That right there.
I am all about the Amtrak life this year. I haven't got to the point of flying yet because I have a fear of flying. Um, yeah. Well, technically I flew twice because I had to fly there and back. But once in my life I flew, and the guy in the middle row, he was looking at me. He was like, "It must be your first time, huh?" And I was like, "Yep." And I was like, plastered to the seat just like this, both hands, just like, oh. It was crazy. I was just like, oh, okay. I don't think this is for me. So I'm gonna keep my feet on the ground while I continue to expand and do what I love to do. I love to travel.
Right.
Um, I even took a trip on a Greyhound to New York for a self-love brunch. That at the time I was following this girl, Kiki Stewart, who's self-love, self-care coach, mental health advocate, all that stuff. And, she was just like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about holding a brunch. Say less. When is it?" Like,
Wow.
she didn't even have everything set up yet. I was just like, "Where do I pay?" I was like, "I'm getting a Greyhound ticket right now." Right. But I looked at the Greyhound ride and it said like 25, 26 hours. I said,
Mm,
"You sure you don't want to fly, Angel?" But I still couldn't do it. And so I took that drive and I was like, never again. Never again.
yeah. Um, Flying isn't that bad. I flew a lot, especially being from the islands. Didn't have much of a choice
Oh
of
yeah.
states.
Yeah.
So, I flew a lot, especially going to other places to visit family and stuff. And it wasn't that bad. The only thing I would say is if you're doing like private planes or smaller planes when you go to smaller islands,
Uh-huh.
yeah. As much as I've flown, they're not my cup of tea. I'm like you. I'm like, are we
So
there
like,
yet?
do you feel like everything?
You do.
Ooh, yeah, see, no.
All of these
Mm-mm.
you do. But I would say it's one of those, if you haven't flown a lot when you were younger, it takes getting used to when you're older.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
definitely does take getting used to. But it is not a bad process. And then you get there a lot faster. I'm all about
yeah,
what can I do with my time to make it last a little bit longer? Like I love driving and seeing the sights like the next person, but
yeah.
okay, how long can I extend my stay if I take the plane?
Right. I feel you. I really feel you on that. So I'm looking forward to traveling the Amtrak life, especially down the so it's like West Coast going into I'm sorry, Midwest going into the West Coast
Hmm,
because it's a lot of
okay.
mountains,
Yeah.
and I love mountains, so that's gonna be dope. I'm so excited for that.
It's a nice
Um,
nice scene, set,
oh,
nice vibe, just like the whole thing.
yep,
So you're a healthcare professional, you're a self-care guru, you have the crochet for self-care, like your schedule is packed. Your mommy, your wife, you speak, and you're on live every Sunday on TikTok.
yep. Every Sunday and Friday, actually. Yep.
So
Mhm.
now that you schedule out everything, do you include the kids in some of your self-care products or self-care days, or your husband in some of your self-care days?
Nope. I, you know, this is what I would say to that. I definitely want to make sure I have more time with them
Right.
because at the end of the day, like I'm a family girl. Like I love family, and so any moment that I can get with them, I try to get. So, um, you know, that we need that companionship.
Right.
That's a part of, our human nature. We are social beings. We're not made to be hermits and to be alone. There is moments where we need our alone time, right? However, at the end of the day, we need to be with people. And
Very
and we have responsibilities, right? And so there's just so much happening in life that every single moment. So like my husband works from home. And
much.
so when he's working, so there's like another chair over here. I just come in here if I'm reading a book, working on my crochet, whatever I'm doing, I just come in here and sit with him. And, sometimes when he's not, on the call, we, talk about something. And so I would call that my self-care time with him.
Right.
Um, and as far as like my children, so I actually got away from this, but I need to get back to this. We will have mommy Sundays.
Aw.
I know. And so that's something that I will be getting back to this year.
Right.
Um, you know, life happens. I totally like not just till now. I just thought about that, like, man, we haven't had any mommy Sundays.
Right. It's weird how that happens, isn't it?
Shush. Yeah. Yeah. So, and thing about it is, like, I'm like, okay, y'all, it is three of y'all. So gotta
Right?
give my so so basically once a month we all have, mommy son days where they get to choose whatever they want to do. So we went bowling before. We just went out, got something to eat before. One up. So I take them to the mall, and you know how like they have like a play area for the
Yeah, right.
kids in the mall.
Yeah.
So like they just like, can we guys go to the mall? We go to the play area, play with the kids. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, it's really not about us,
Yeah.
but that's what you want to do, okay?
Like you're having fun, so I can't complain. I'm
you know,
here. I'm here. It's okay.
but we do like get something to eat either before or
Right.
after, so we have that time together. Then the drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would consider that, my self-care with my sons. But I definitely like just in general, tell them like, hey, hubby, I think you should just get out, for a little bit, have you some you time, do what you need to do,
Right.
recoup, refresh, all that good stuff, and take care of you. Right. And I talk to my sons with them. It's really more about hygiene because
Yeah, I know. I got
these
you. I'm a boy mom too.
boys,
I got you. They're a little different. They're a little
they,
different.
they look different. They special. They real special.
They're a little.
Um,
That's all I got. I love
it's
my
so
boys.
good.
Boys, mom, we love our boys. Just
Yeah,
they're a little different.
they my heart. They really are. So it's hygiene and also mental health, mental wellness as it relates to um expressing themselves
Right.
and like what they're thinking and how they're feeling. So
Right.
that emotional intelligence too. Like those are like interconnected because how we think affects the way how we feel and vice versa.
Very true.
So yeah, with them, I work on like it's so funny. When my baby was, I don't know, like he was like a baby, right? And I started singing this song when he would cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, Malachi. And that would just seem to annoy the mess out of him, and annoy my sons. However, it kept me sane because I was just like,
You know
it's
what?
okay.
I'm about to have a moment, but I'm figuring it out.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to console you, give me what you need, but you still crying. I don't know what to do. So we just gonna sing this song.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You find whatever works best for them. That's it.
You know? And so like he like sometimes he would actually like calm down, but for the most part he would just, still cry it out and I'll just be singing. But I definitely am all for them, get it out, release it,
Right.
however, it's not necessarily pleasant to hear. So I'm gonna need you to create a space for you to go do that and go handle that. And so
Right.
they have that now.
Mhm.
I tell them, it's okay to have your feelings, but just go do it in your space. Um, so
So with the whole aspect of just being a busy woman, because you wear many
yeah.
hats like a lot of us do, what would you say is your favorite self-care thing to do? Back to you know what?
Yes.
Let me get back to what I was doing.
hmm Naps and taking breaks is definitely hands down. Um, and this is because like I was working night shifts for a little over a year between 2000, yeah, early 2003 into like June 2004.
Okay.
And so, girl, Like, I just got into a habit of taking naps and taking more breaks throughout the day because of that. And that's something that um persisted, after that. And I now use that time to do things I love. Whether it's to, get on the call with my girl, whether it's crochet, because I really love to craft and crochet and knit too. Um, uh, what else do I like to do?
Are you a foodie? I just forgot to ask that question.
What? So this is the thing. It's very limited. I love me some food. I love to eat, but it's very limited because I am semi-vegetarian.
I don't think people realize that food sometimes can be included in your self-care process, because yes, we have the beauty aspect of self-care, we have the mental aspect of self-care, we even have the internal aspect as far as
Yeah.
getting yourself together and realizing certain things. But food is also a part of the self-care process when it comes to eating right
Hmm.
and not using food as a cover
Yep.
of certain traumas that you deal with. So, for the ladies out there that are afraid of food, I think that's the easiest way to put that.
Yeah.
Um, that's why I asked the question, are you a foodie? Because some women are afraid of food, and food is not a bad thing. I think food is what you make it.
Yep. It is.
And now it's a lot easier with all these apps and Google that you can research different things that is healthy and still get really good recipes out of healthy items.
Absolutely. So it's funny. Like, every single time I make a certain dish, my husband, he'd be like, "Oh, you done messed up, Ron." And so, you can definitely um cook healthier food and still, it still tastes good. And that's actually how I began my health journey, really, because as a teenager, I started to dig deeper into my faith and to really figure out, if being a follower of Christ something that I wanted to do. Like, it's just something that I was raised in. And so, like, I had all these questions and I'm just like, I don't know about these. So I started to seek, answers for myself. And in seeking answers for myself, I started to see, wait a minute now, there's a trend here. Okay. And the Bible actually speaks a lot on what you should be eating, healthier options of what you should be eating, and really just overall health and wellness, like what that looks like, how you should be applying it, right, practically and stuff like that. And so, um, understanding that was my, like, start of, like, okay, I received it as something beneficial for me
Right.
and that was real for me. And in that, it was like, okay, I believe this is wow. So that was a part of actually, getting into, like, the health field, really, not
Now you think about it.
right. That okay. I really didn't think about that. Right. I mean, I probably did back then, but it's been like
Forever ago.
for like 25 years. So I don't
Now that I think about it, now that I'm actually like processing and talking about it, it's funny what you remember
yeah.
when you start talking about things, how you start your self care journey and realizing the things you need to do to better yourself and what you expect from yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was my gateway really into, like, the self-care, because I really started to go like gung ho on how I approached health. Because all I knew up to that point, really, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, the old
Eat
saying.
your
The old
apple.
people saying.
Yeah, drink your milk.
Mhm.
So that was it. And so then it just so happened. I mean, I don't think that was a coincidence, but it just so happened that um, I a friend of my brother's who we went to high school with, his father was a pastor, and they were holding health seminars. So
Okay.
I started attending the health seminars, and I started to learn more, in that aspect too, about, what the Bible has to say about health and wellness and stuff. And so, wow. This is just really interesting right now, just to have this, hindsight of it all, like where it all began. Um, oh yeah, yeah.
It's funny, you forget certain things of how your journey started, and then having conversations like this, you remember, but you just remembering may have just helped someone on figuring out how to start their journey. So again, I thank you as always, because you're always sharing knowledge, you're always dropping gems. And before we go, how can our audience get a hold of you? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at because I care underscore the number two. That's because I care underscore the number two. You can follow me on TikTok at because I care too. And you can follow me on Facebook at Angel Conway, or my Facebook page, business page, because I care too.
All right, beauties. It was just a real. Let's see if we get back up there. There we go. Follow Angel Conway on social media at because I care underscore two on TikTok and Instagram. And then on Facebook, you can follow her at Angel Conway. She is a self-care guru. Like, I'm a self-care guru, but she's on a whole nother level. And don't forget to catch her on Sundays for lives on TikTok. She's on there. What time are you on there? So our audience know when to look for you.
7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And that's a wrap on Discovering Yourself through Positive Self-Talk Continued. I hope this conversation inspired you to embrace your self-care, speak life into yourself, and step into your confidence. Keep practicing positive self-talk and watch how it transforms your journey. Until next time, stay radiant, stay empowered, and always remember, beauty starts within. Next week on Beauty and Me with Tina, we're finding home and wellness with the amazing Jacinda, owner of Caregiver. Join us as we explore how cultural roots, self-care, and holistic wellness come together to create a balanced and fulfilling life. You won't want to miss this empowering conversation. Tune in next week.